there are lessons that I've learned, and really happy to share those with you. I think that, as I mentioned earlier, and you've mentioned as well, understanding what the problem is, like really focusing on knowing what those customers or your audience have got the issues around, and writing it down and turning it upside down, and just really being clear that that problem does exist, and doing the research. Like, really, really important to do the research, and not just speak to family and friends, but go out, talk to those customers, actually, talk to people who you don't know and ask them, what do you think about this, and get their feedback. And that does take a lot of time. And then being able to know that what solution you've got really does solve that problem. And again, it's talking to your customers and seeing how they react and having their feedback. So I think that's really important, to clear on the problem and make sure that you're solving it with whatever the solution that you have for that audience. I think also it's important in any business, and to stand out in business, is to be different. Now, just having another business that, you may be, selling a product, let's say it's pet food, there's lots of people out there, companies big and small, who are selling pet food, but you can find a way that makes you stand out as being different to everybody else in the marketplace, and have a fabulous business, and there's lots of customers for. So you've really got to find what is your sweet spot. What makes you different? Is it your service? Is it your product? Is it the business model? Like, how are you selling those products or services? So I think being different, and a lot of it can come down to also the founder, the way they present themselves. If you're the face of the business, then that's a difference already. So I think that's a lesson I've learned, is to really just keep at sort of what is that makes you different, and you can have a great business. Being visible and in different forms. So, having a great website, making sure that your photos out there really position, you like the photos that you're putting out there.
It always helps, doesn't it?
It does. And knowing what it is you do, and share it really succinctly as well. So, making sure you can talk about your business. So make sure that it's clear on your website, on your LinkedIn, or all your social media, Instagram, Facebook, just making yourself visible, as well as being online. It's important to be offline as well. So, go to networking events, getting out there, talking to people, speaking to your customers. Don't be, don't also hide behind, the business, and not actually be the front person. I think that's a really important thing as well.
I think these days especially, isn't it? I talk to a lot of people who don't want to be that person. They really do want to sit in the background and have the value that the business provides kind of stand out. But it's really interesting when you talk about the fact that you've got to stand out in business. You're right. No one else is us. Like, that is, a surefire way to be different and stand out, is actually leveraging your personal brand and putting yourself out there. I love that point.
Yeah. And I think people love to talk to people, and they resonate with people, So I think more and more now, post-COVID, we've all sort of like have this need to connect, even if it's virtual, online, or, and if you can get out and be in person, it's even a bonus these days. But, just that connection, I think, is really important. So I think being an individual, having, we're all individuals, and having that voice, that's what makes you stand out, and what your passions are and what you believe in. I think that's really important.
You're right. And it's so powerful, I think. And I'm always blown away, you know, I think you're right. People buy from people, you know, we teach that in sales, right? So it is funny that, you know, if you were starting a business that you're sort of hesitant to put yourself out there. I guess it's difficult with, and I love your point about loving the photos that you put out, right? I'm such a big, look, I'm, you know, vain as the next person. I don't love showing up without makeup on. It doesn't make me feel good. I know everyone's all about it these days, but it just doesn't, I just don't feel confident when I do that. So I make sure that if I'm going to be on a Zoom, I pop a little bit of makeup on so I feel good showing up on camera. Yeah. But I also invest in personal branding shoots as well. So you're right. You've just got a bank there, a bank of photos and content that you can post that you feel good about. And then you don't have to sit there in the daily, oh my God, I don't want to post anything, and just waste hours and hours spiraling because you've got stuff that you're proud of.
Yeah, exactly. And having a bank of photos, like, you know, don't just go and get one selfie or, you know, you're out. Like, I think investing in a good photographer, I think it's great. You know, I think that really helps, because then you know, or you feel you can, that's a good photo. Like, I didn't take that as a selfie. Someone else did. They're the experts, and you can actually use it in so many different forms on your posts. And then having, you know, photography in situ, like actually having a bank of photography for all your sort of marketing activities is fantastic. And it helps create all that content. Like, you know, like we all have struggle sometimes to, what am I going to put out there? What content, what words am I going to say? But photo says a lot. So I think photography is really, really important, particularly being visible.